What's up, Bod Squad? It's Bailey
and Blair,
and this is Boddens Up. All right, we are back, and Laura Urbanek is with us today.
Hi.
And she is a close friend of ours, but she's also a client, a home buyer and seller with us. And she owns 110 Beauty in downtown Nashville, which is we're going to get into what it is. And her husband, Tony, owns the hottest bar in Cool Springs, aka like Franklin. So welcome.
Yes. Hi. I love you. I'm so happy you're with us.
Cheers.
Hi, girl.
We're so happy you're here. Yep.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
And I am just like, I'm so happy that y'all started to do this. I just want to say this because when I think of you guys and everything that you guys do across the board, I mean, with real estate, influencing, design, art, I'm like, how do these girls not already have a podcast? So
we had to tie it all in.
Yeah,
somehow.
here we are.
It was like the right timing, and I was so excited for you guys. And when you texted me to come on this podcast, I was like, oh, I'm so honored.
Yeah, we're so happy.
We're happy you're here. Absolutely. So how did we meet? We met how?
Okay, I'll start. So through Joy. Hi, Joy.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, was it?
I guess it was.
Blair and I, yes.
Yeah. So you were dating somebody at the time that we don't need to mention, and
Never.
Was it Memorial Day or 4th of July?
It was 4th of July.
Okay, it was 4th of July, and we were at a pool party.
Was it your house?
No, we were at our friend Alex and Susie's house.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And then you came and like I'll never forget. Like I have the image so clear in my head. You walked through the gates, and we just hugged each other right away because I knew who you were and you knew who I was, and then we FaceTimed Joy like immediately.
Oh my god!
She didn't answer,
Of
but
course.
we were like, look, we're together. Like we've met each other.
I love it.
And that was the first time I met you, and like I honestly
I don't know
can't
how we
remember
met.
the first time I met
As
you.
I asked, I was like, wait, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to like dig back and find out when I met you.
You probably just
into
walked.
110.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But you know, the first time that I saw both of your faces, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'll have to show you. And this will lead like great into the next topic. But when I first started working at 110 Beauty, there was this lookbook.
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
Are we
You know
in
what I'm
it?
talking about?
No.
You don't know that you're in it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
I have saved it for you guys.
Oh
like,
my gosh! I
have
need to see this.
to show
No.
you. But it's a lookbook for like glam looks, from like natural glam to medium glam to like a full
I'm
glam.
scared.
And you are both in there as models. And
No way.
through several pages. Yes.
That's
And
funny.
I was like,
when you
"These
first started
girls are
working there.
Yes. And I didn't know either
I'm
of
trying
you
to
at
think
the time.
back when we like got our makeup done there.
I mean, I thought I started going there with you, so I don't know.
Well,
It was like a
no,
photo
yeah,
shoot.
we'll go
But
into
It
it.
was a photo shoot
Yeah.
for sure, but you guys are in it. And
Okay.
Cute.
I
Who knew
was
I was a
going through it, and I'm like,
model?
I have to save this for them because it's,
I love it.
It's so cute and so throwback.
All right.
And that's the first time that I saw you guys, and I just thought like, oh my gosh, these girls are so beautiful. And
Aw, you
like
angel.
how funny.
It's
you
thanks
know?
to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Keep fixing our stuff. so.
Yeah. Literally, my hair, my scalp thanks you for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Y'all are amazing.
So what
Beautiful hair.
what is 110?
Okay, so 110 Beauty, we are a full service salon. First and foremost, we're not too far from where you guys are
No.
in the Wedgwood,
I also
Houston
love
area.
that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just 8th and Craighead, right near the 8th and Wedgwood intersection, and we do it all in the salon. Extensions, Brazilian blowouts, cut, color, and then medical grade aesthetic services as well. So diamond
I
glow,
actually didn't know that.
microneedling. Yeah. So
I had no idea.
we have two
Spray tans?
amazing estheticians.
Yeah, I knew spray tan.
tans.
I need to start.
Yeah, I've
Something.
spray tans
Yeah.
every week. It's what makes me feel great.
Yeah.
But, and we do, we have an on-location business also. So we do hair and makeup for the Tennessee Titans cheerleaders.
nice.
We've been in a relationship with them now for 6 years.
Crazy.
So
That's awesome.
and that's really special to us on a personal level. You know, and professionally, it's also really cool too. We get to have amazing experiences with them.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
We've also gained really great friendships and have been given the opportunity to surround ourselves with really truly amazing women.
Yeah.
Who are just genuinely like so smart and talented. Like all of these women have, I mean, they're nurses, they're teachers,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
doctors, they're lawyers.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they are, I mean, they are incredible people.
Yeah.
And then they're Tennessee Titans. cheerleaders.
But you know what's crazy about that is those girls are all professionals. Like I have friends that have been Titans cheerleaders. They get paid like $150 a game.
That's it.
They don't get paid much, which is why they all have other jobs.
But
Yeah.
apparently it's like the networking thing.
Oh, I'm
To
sure.
be a part of
Yeah.
is like to be able to be like, I'm an NFL cheerleader. It's like the people you meet and the things that you get to do being
Yeah.
a part of that like community is
Yeah.
apparently like insane. But I'm like, I've got to learn
paid.
1,700 routines.
Yeah,
and then
I know,
get
like,
paid
yeah.
$100
not
a
only,
game.
not only that, but they have to work out 4 days.
That's what I'm saying. They're all
like the
ripped.
time that they put
It's a
in
commitment.
to prepping for that game.
Literally.
And then they only
They
get paid that much.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I also feel
It's
like
a commitment for them for
I'm
sure.
not. Listen, I'm
Good
not
for them.
I'm not someone who's like
It's exercise.
Of
like,
course,
Yeah, and they're passionate
Great.
about it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
passionate
I'm not
about it.
someone who's like an equal pay girly. I feel like you should work hard and like whether you're a man, woman, whatever you are, like you should be able to just like. I don't think that a woman should be CEO because she's a woman. I think it's because she's the right person for the
Yeah,
job.
for sure.
And
Agreed.
But I will die with my stake in the sand that NFL cheerleaders should get paid.
I don't leave the house for
They're
less,
they're like
less
model.
than $500.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm not getting out of bed because if I get out of bed, I know I'm spending like $1,000 today. So I'm not getting out of bed unless I'm getting
I'm not
paid.
leaving the house for $100.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not either.
No, they are.
Especially-
They are
Let's
incredible.
protest for the cheerleaders.
I am. I'm protesting for these girls because I'm
Yeah.
like, that is why, and men, women
Yeah.
and men that
Yeah.
are cheerleaders.
There's-
I'm like, I am
there's male
protesting
cheerleaders
for you
too.
guys.
Yeah, I mean they don't get paid a lot,
Yeah.
but they do, like you said, they get a lot of exposure.
Yeah, it's great exposure.
They get the
They
opportunity.
probably get brand deals too.
Oh,
They,
you know?
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I
Crazy,
mean, they get the
yeah.
opportunity to even, have job opportunities beyond Titans
1,000,
cheer. So a
for
lot
sure.
of them end up in jobs within the NFL.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
And I mean, the opportunities are endless. So I feel like it's, for them, again, it's something that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
They want to continue doing what they love, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the pay is at the moment. And I think that, for me, resonates with what it means to be an entrepreneur and have an entrepreneurial mindset.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it's about seeing the bigger picture.
bigger picture, it's not always a monetary exchange.
And
Yeah.
being able to
Yeah.
look at the situation in front of you or look at an opportunity in front of you and see like that you might not make a ton of money right
Yeah.
now from this,
Yeah.
but you're investing in relationships, you're investing into your community,
Totally.
and be able to see how that's going to pay off. And not everybody thinks like that.
Yeah. No, they do
So
not.
yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of, they see the value.
Totally.
And most of them, are
They all are like
doing incredible
professionals.
things.
Yeah. They're doing like, because Holly was a cheerleader.
No, I know.
And she loved it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was Titan cheerleader. I'm like, yeah, you could still be a Titan cheerleader. And,
Literally.
like, she's never aged.
She's
ever.
never aged. She looks younger than me.
We pull up in the parking lot for on game days, and they're like, "Are you guys Titans cheerleaders?"
You're like, yes. Yes, I am.
Do you think I am?
Yes, I am.
Maybe.
Give me my skirt. I'm going.
love it.
1,000%.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, we really enjoy doing that. I mean, so everything that we do at 110 Beauty, gosh, it's everything in the beauty industry. Everything. Other than nails, we don't do nails, but we got a nail salon next door. So
Oh, yeah, you do.
But we do it all.
Yeah.
And I truly enjoy it, especially because like I love all things glam. It's what makes me feel good.
Totally.
And I see the way it makes other women feel good. You know, going back to the Titans too, they're one of the only, I think there's like 2 or 3 teams in the NFL that get hair and makeup. Like,
Oh, really?
Interesting.
yeah, they otherwise they do their own glam.
So their people, they don't hire you. The Titans
No,
company, they bring y'all in.
Yes, the Titans organization.
So I got to
That's
see
it.
the
Yeah.
setup when Julia sang at the opening of one of the games. We were all downstairs, ran into the girls doing hair
I
and
love
makeup down there,
that.
and the setup is like
I
so
didn't
fun.
know that.
Yeah, I was
That's
down there with
awesome.
Jules. We were going through the tunnel and stuff. Like they
Yeah.
took us into some green room. Anyway,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I got to see the setup. It's like great, so fun for them.
No, it's amazing. And actually, I mean, I would love to dive into a story of how that even came about.
Yeah.
Because I think that, man, it's about, you know, a combination of opportunities that present themselves, but also acting on it.
Right.
And how you act on it. And I will never forget the day that I got an email from Jackie, who's the Titans cheer manager. And like, she's my girl. Hi, Jackie. But she sent an email saying that they were, and this was in, I want to say 2020 or 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been.
2019. Yeah, 2019. And I was in North Carolina at a conference, like a salon conference called the Summit. Anybody in the salon world would know what that is. But I was in North Carolina for a few days, and I'm in my Airbnb, and we get this email that the Tennessee Titans cheerleaders are now accepting bids for hair and makeup, for a new hair and makeup team. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I have to respond to this like within 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm Googling like how to write a business proposal.
Where was ChatGPT then?
It wasn't around.
Yeah.
And
Around
like
yet.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like I think that this is where a lot of people get stuck in starting businesses and progressing in business because they think they don't know what they're doing. And like, guess what? Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to write a business proposal. I had no idea how to do this.
Yeah.
So I Googled it. I'm pretty sure I called my husband, like, how do I write a business proposal?
Tony
Of
knows.
course, Tony
knows.
He didn't know though.
Really?
He was like, I
way.
don't know, honey. I can't. He gave me
Tony's
a
like,
few
I
pointers.
just opened a bar. I don't know.
I love
Exactly.
Tony is the spreadsheet guru. It's frightening. I'm obsessed with him. Like, I didn't even know how to open a spreadsheet, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense.
Love it.
And I appreciate it so much because it balances me out because like otherwise I would just be like feral. Like wild, right? Like all over the place. And he definitely brings me back to reality and centers me in that way. And I do appreciate like all of his technical skills, but sometimes, I mean, he drinks a pot of coffee in the morning, every morning.
Wow.
And sometimes he's just like standing over me and he's like, hey, honey, like, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's too early. Like, please,
Too early.
please
I'm
no.
still on my
please.
first cup.
Yeah, like
Please.
please. Well, no, I'm like still in bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sleeping. The shades are drawn.
Yes, like I am still asleep and he is just like 100% at it. Like he wakes up first thing in the morning and he drinks his pot of coffee and he sits at his computer and he
Just goes to town.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, meanwhile, like I need my time to wake up. And then like I go work out.
Yeah.
And then like after that, I'm like, okay, I can
now I can
hone in.
conversate with you.
But from the moment he wakes up, he is like 100% intense.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing mostly.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Okay, so go back
to your
what happened? Your email.
Your email.
Okay.
So Tony does not know how to do a business proposal.
So he has no idea. I mean, he gives me a few pointers, but I Google it and I figure it out. I put together a business proposal. I send it off.
Yeah.
I don't even really know if this is like, I hope this is actually what a business proposal is supposed to look like. And it worked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I took a chance. I took a risk. I didn't really know what I was doing, but at the end of the day, I seized the opportunity that was in front of me and I made it happen. And from that, I mean, I think I even like overpromised things that like I couldn't even really deliver at the time.
Yeah.
Because we were, on the flip side of things, I was just starting to build and grow this salon. Like I didn't really have any employees. I mean, maybe a few. I mean, I want to say like 2.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really anybody around to like service this at the time. So I didn't tell them that. Surprise, Jackie. I mean, we made it work.
We're still here.
We're still here. But I invited them to come into the salon and experience our services, and man, I made it happen. But like I had to pull strings. Like I was, desperately like, hey, come in and can you please take care of the
handle it
Titans
this day,
coach
please.
for me. And it all worked out eventually, but it wasn't without, I mean, a lot of winging it. And so like that's where I think, going back to like how Tony and I are so different too, I'm very much inclined to like, I will seize an opportunity and like figure it out later or along the way. And it usually works out. So like knock on wood, so far.
You're doing great, sweetie.
But like, I'm not afraid to take risks. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And you can't be an entrepreneur or start a business. I mean, how many business have you guys started and you have no idea if it's going to work or not? You can't be afraid to take risks. So I took a risk and I took multiple risks and it panned out. And it has turned into, now we're going on to our 6th season with Titans Cheer. And we've gained incredible friendships from it. But I mean, it wasn't without like an enormous amount of stress, not knowing how I was going to deliver on the things that I said I was going to deliver. And, again, going back to the beginning, not even knowing how to write a business proposal. I just figured everything along the way out and, praise Jesus. It worked out.
It worked out perfect.
Where did 110, how did it get started? How did you get into it?
So I love this story because it was really a long and hard journey. I won't sugarcoat it. Like it's, I was a makeup artist. It's what I started out in this industry doing. I don't do makeup anymore. I mean, I've probably done both of your makeup at some point.
Probably.
At this point, I have so many other things going on and I have a team, and it's not, it's just something I stepped away from, but that was my initial passion in this industry. And, I saw a post on Facebook one day and it was like, we need an extra makeup artist for this wedding. So I was like, I can do it. And I had a portfolio, I had a website. I was an established makeup artist at the time already. So I did have like credentials to show. And I had already heard of 110 Beauty from the previous owner who had started this company. And it had a good name. And I wanted to be a part of something that, a community in the makeup world. There's not a lot of opportunities for you to work in a salon space or find a community where you have a place to actually like centrally like gather together and like meet in person.
For sure.
Because it's all freelance, right?
I was about to say,
So-
you usually are going to them.
yeah, exactly.
Like to their house
so
or
it's,
whatever.
It's hard. That's why it's harder in the, you know, in the on location industry to find a community. And I love that there was a brick and mortar space where there was actually the opportunity for a community to be cultivated between makeup artists and bridal hairstylists. And event hairstylist, anybody who was working like on location. It was just like a great group of creatives who were all freelance employees, right? A part of this. And I was so excited to be a part of it. And when the previous owner left, you know, I just found myself in the right place at the right time. I was part of, you know, I was a makeup artist in this company, like I said, and there was a need for somebody to take things over, and I saw that. And there was, you know, it was not going to work out for 110 Beauty on the storefront side if someone didn't step in.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a bridal business before it was a salon business. It was a bridal business, you know, 3 years before the salon front, you know, the storefront was ever opened, where it currently is now.
Yeah.
And you know that it's hard. Like running a brick and mortar is hard.
Yeah.
It is not the same thing as having, you know, any other business that you open. I mean, that's challenging too, not to discount, you know, a business that you're running remotely, but managing and running a brick and mortar comes with a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
It's a lot of your time.
It is.
Time, scheduling, like it just
Staying on
there's
top
many,
of things.
There's 100 more tasks on the table that aren't there for businesses like ours because we don't have any. Well, besides the actual brokerage, which again we've gotten rid of, the front desk girl, the overhead of that business that was there.
It's stressful
for so many
Yeah, it is.
years, but we're just. Which it's necessary for your business. You have to have it.
It is.
But like we started to realize
Skip that.
we don't need it. Like we
Because
didn't
it's a
need
lot
a
of
front
work.
desk girl. No one's going to our brokerage unless they're signing paperwork, and we're there to meet them.
It's 2025, baby.
Yeah.
It's like I'll send you a document.
Yeah, we'll send you DocuSign. We don't need to
Exactly.
see you.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is I don't think I even realized at the time like how big of a challenge that a brick and mortar would be. Because I didn't care. I just knew I wanted to build something. You know, I at the time had, I have 3 kids now. I had 1 child and my firstborn, Anthony, little Tony the third, and or the 5th actually. There's 5 Anthony Urbanics, and he was 8 months old, and I one day just signed him up for daycare. I didn't tell Tony. I just went and signed him up at the academy, and I came home and I was like, oh my God, I have to tell Tony that I did this because like I'm not making enough money as a freelance makeup artist at 110 Beauty at this point to, to pay for daycare for my child. But I did it because I just like, I run on my instincts, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like this is right. I want to do this. I want to commit more time to, like, I know this company needs me and I see an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I
Ready,
took it.
shoot,
I
aim.
took it.
Sent it.
I didn't feel like I needed anybody's permission because I was going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So, which like might be a flaw. I'm not sure. Like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Our mentality is that it's like ready, shoot, aim. Like
Yeah.
that's how we've always been. Like we'll figure it out later. Like let's just send it
Later.
and see what
Let's
happens.
do it and see what
And
happens.
it all worked
course,
out.
yeah.
He was mad, and it turned into, I would say 3 years of me making less money than I was paying out in daycare. I was operating at a loss for 3 years. And really, thank goodness for my organized, strategic husband who was able to make that happen for me, because I wouldn't have been able to do that without his support.
Totally.
You know, if I was on my own, I would have needed money to support myself, right? And he took care of our family, and I, you know, I was bringing in a little bit of income, but I mean, it was, again, like I was paying for daycare, and daycare costs were more expensive than what I was making. But I mean, I did that for 3 years, making very little and working 60, 70, 80 hour weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gone a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. It was every minute of my time was dedicated to being there. And if I wasn't there, then I was at home working on things.
Yeah.
And I was creating something. So it was exciting for me. Like, I think it was less exciting for my husband at the time. Like, you know, he wasn't always like 1,000% on board and supportive. And that was a challenge that I had to work through too.
Sure.
And you know, now he is so supportive of me. But, you know, at the time, because he's like such a reasonable person, he was like, this isn't reasonable,
sweetie.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
This isn't reasonable.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't, you know, you just wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
You're gonna see, sweetie.
one day.
Yeah.
And it did pan out.
Yeah.
So what, you know, eventually happened was, you know, again, when the previous owner left, you know, there was still one remaining owner, but who knew nothing about this industry. You know, he gave us, me, and, you know, my current business partner, the company. And at that point,
So he just handed it over to you?
yeah. I mean, well, after years of sweat equity.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, years of sweat equity. And again, he didn't possess the expertise that, you know, that I had in this field. So, and again, there was only so long that I was willing to
work. Yeah, of course.
to work for, you know, operate at a loss.
Right.
So,
Well, you're operating at a loss, and you're also like essentially working to build this current owner more money
yes.
and making them money.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
before you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not valued here. I can go open my own place at this point with my reasonable husband and probably be fucking crushing it, right?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, you described it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it came to a head.
But that guy
was-
knows that. He's like, at some
Yeah.
point, you have to value these people that are going to build a business that you really don't want to operate. Like, you're
Or don't know how.
don't know how.
even.
Yeah,
He
even
had
if you
another
wanted to,
job,
you couldn't.
right?
So
Yeah,
it's
he's
like-
in finance.
It doesn't
Like,
sound like he even like cared to though either. To
well,
just-
totally just out of his field.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he cared enough to keep it going. I will say that.
Yeah,
Because,
that's good.
you
Of
know,
course,
like,
yeah.
he
Well,
cared
yeah.
enough to keep it going,
Yeah.
and I appreciate
is he
that
still
so
partner
much.
with you guys now?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. He
Oh,
is. He
okay.
sure is. Yes.
Sure is.
So,
I did not know that.
yeah. So, I mean, and, you know, business partnerships are challenging in and of themselves too. And
Yeah.
like, that's a whole nother story. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I've always kept my focus on the business.
Yeah.
And, you know, setting aside any personal relationships, whether it's with my business partner, even my employees.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course,
I
yeah.
love them. We are friends, but I am the one that people look to when the law needs to be laid down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to be the bad guy, and I have no problem doing it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't care if people look at me and they're like, man, you know, Laura's no fun to be around, or we're not going to include her in this group chat or
Right.
whatever. Like, that's fine with me because I'm responsible for many people's income. You know, I have 20 plus employees in the salon, and that means a lot to me. I take an incredible amount of responsibility in that, and that, you know, this is their income, this is their livelihoods. So I'm willing to set aside friendships, you know, politeness, or you know, what people think of me for the sacrifice of the greater good.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the day, I continued to build this alongside my business partners, and then insert Ashley, who you both
Yes,
know.
I love her.
So
Sweet.
I met her through a client of mine, and she was like, she was a makeup client at the time, and she was like, you just have to meet Ashley. She's a hairstylist, and I told her, I was like, I'm building this salon business now, and like I don't have any employees. Come help me. So like, if you know anybody, and she was like, I know this girl. Her name's Ashley. She just moved here from New York, and like I was like, okay, like I didn't think anything would pan out from it.
Yeah.
And she made the introduction, and Ashley reached out to me. And when Ashley came into the picture is when everything really started to grow and change.
That's awesome.
And that's because, I went to cosmetology school in Brentwood here in Tennessee. And I knew I never wanted to be like behind the chair doing hair. And I needed somebody to grow stylist and to mentor these future stylists that I was going to be, potentially hiring.
Yeah.
I knew I needed somebody with more expertise than I had on the technical side. And she came into my life, and the first thing she said was, I don't want to work in the salon. I'm done and burnt out on doing hair. But I'll do weddings for you guys. And I was like, okay. I was devastated, but I just said, okay, like we'll sign you on to do weddings. And 3 days later, she came in to turn in her 1099 paperwork, and she looked at this beautiful salon completely empty. And it was just me answering phones, typing up paperwork, putting processes in place. And she just, she told me later on, she's like, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear the thought of this like beautiful space not being filled.
Yeah.
And so she walked into the office and she said, okay,
Yeah.
I'll come on 2 days a week as a hairstylist. That's what I can give you right now.
Nice.
And I was like, okay,
Whatever you want to give me.
whatever you want. And she was my first hairstylist
Wow.
that I hired.
So she helped you grow the more employees. She brought in more and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when she came on board, that's when we started to grow.
Yeah,
and
awesome. That's awesome.
we went from, again, 0 employees to then I hired Ashley, and then Joellen, who is my salon manager now, who was a little bit like in and out of the freelance business before, then just like she was like, I want to be a part of this. Full force, like she was so dedicated, and I was like, really? Like you want to be a part of this? Like I was surprised that anybody wanted to be a part of something that I was building, just like because it was so new, right?
I want to touch on because me getting married, we have been looking for hair and makeup in New York.
I was going to ask you about this.
There is literally someone come to me if there is, but there is literally nothing like what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And
like
you want to know why? It's because transportation in New York is so difficult for hair and makeup artists. It's not the same.
They do.
Industry.
They're hitting me with $500 travel fees, and I'm like, where you live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in
like,
Manhattan.
because these girls at $500 to get
They're
out of
like
bed
Long
and get on the
Island. I'm
subway.
like,
We're talking about
Long
$500 to get out of bed, baby.
with a makeup kit,
Yeah.
and a hair kit.
I know.
You
I
see
know.
it.
Like
You see it in New
these
York.
These
People
girls don't have cars.
Yeah, people on the subway with their cellos and shit. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they're
So yeah, I mean, I would want $500 too.
Yeah.
So
No doubt.
It's not the same.
Especially
but
for
I'm like,
wedding.
can I just call you $100 Uber?
the second you
Probably.
put
We'll talk.
coming from Jersey.
the second you put wedding, immediately
Oh yeah, everything's more expensive.
double it.
When I say
So-
I'm getting married, they're like $1,500.
So I want to ask one more
Exactly.
question about the salon, and then I want to talk about your new house.
Yes, for sure.
But my last question about the salon, like, what would you say to somebody who is wanting to start a business or brick and mortar space?
I would say be prepared to be extremely dedicated. There's no way around it. You can't cheat it. It's going to take time. And I mean, obviously it's going to take money, but you can spit all the money that you want at it, and it doesn't matter. If you don't put your time in, consistently, then it's not gonna work. You have to go into it with humility, knowing that you're gonna be wrong so many times along the way. And again, till this day, there are times where I've thought like, oh, I don't have to be in here as much. Everything's running really smoothly. And, a real business owner, you should be able to step away from your business for a couple months and everything not fall apart. And I'll be honest, I'm not there yet. If I step away for too long, things do tend to fall apart. And so I am still very present. And I love it. So it's not like the worst thing in the world, but like I just have such like a creative mind where I want to go, like I want to start other businesses. I want to do other things. Like my mind is focused on growing, right? So be prepared to be pulled in many different directions. And be prepared for the criticism. Because it's not going to be easy on your ego. And if your ego is easily hurt, then it's entrepreneurship, starting a business, having a brick and mortar is not right for you. Because I admit, more times than I'd like to in a day that I'm wrong. And, eat shit, if you will. Like I on a daily basis, really. I'm like, okay, you know what? I could have done better at this. Ultimately, I am the one to blame. If anything is going wrong, I can point the finger at my managers or at my associates or at my stylist or educators or my front desk, but this is my operation. So like having the mindset to take full responsibility is, I think, essential going into starting a brick and mortar business, being ready to give the time and, having those conversations with your family ahead of time so that they're, prepared for you being pulled away. I think also then the technical part of it is just being financially prepared and knowing where, being financially organized, especially in the salon business. I feel like a lot of the times, not so much like in this day and age, I feel like the salon industry is shifting, but like it was a mindset where, salon owners would open a salon and like they didn't know anything about money. They are just creatives. And again, I see like Nashville has definitely elevated the industry in that aspect because I think there's so many smart, really capable salon owners who get that. Being prepared with your financials is a big part of it and can alleviate a lot of the stress at the forefront if you go into it prepared financially.
Love it. That's a good answer.
Would you ever franchise? Have you thought about it?
Man, I'm just trying to figure out a way to not have to go
not have to be there all the time.
All the time.
It's true.
It is
would I
so
ever
hard.
do that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that with the salon right now because it is such a difficult industry with like not the hugest profit margins either. It's like it's definitely an industry of passion.
Right.
Tony would tell you, like, I mean, he's ready to franchise. You know, that's what he wants to do.
With Tony's or your place?
Tony's.
Yeah.
I
will
Tony's.
Get behind him.
I mean, he would.
We need to have a night out there.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I've never been.
Y'all won't go home.
No, I haven't
the night
either.
in Franklin.
But it is.
You've never been?
No, that's why I texted you that night.
Well, I know of it because we have friends that live in Franklin and Cool Springs, and they go all the time.
Ari and Kirby and all them. I was with them last weekend, and I was like, yeah, my friend Laura, like her husband owns Tony's. I don't even know why we were talking about you guys, and she was like, I love Tony's.
Oh my gosh, I'll hook her up with some free appetizers and a round of shots.
I'm like, we're going to Tony's.
That's hilarious.
Okay,
yeah,
we're gonna.
We'll have it.
We need to have a night and go.
I will set this
or
up.
a day
A day.
whatever.
Like
a Sunday.
whatever, yeah.
I love a Tuesday fun day. It doesn't have to be a Sunday. Like
Laura's so funny. We were at the house doing the listing appointment, like going over all of the stuff for the listing.
Oh yeah.
And what was it? It was literally like a Tuesday.
Yeah. No,
And she's like, you know,
noon.
it's noon. And she's I swear to
She's
God.
like, I'm gonna open a bottle of
She
wine.
literally did. She
Yeah.
goes, I'm gonna have a glass of wine. Do you want one? And I was like, I'm gonna drink my
Coffee.
matcha, and then I'm gonna go to the
I
gym.
drank my coffee first.
I'm not no judgment. If I hadn't have been going to the gym and had a full day, I would have been like
Hell yeah.
1,000% pour me a
Yeah,
glass of
for
wine.
sure.
It's noon on a Tuesday. Yes.
I love a noon wine.
Same.
Noon wine.
We don't belong here. We belong in Italy.
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
you know what? I was watching Shark Tank one day, and
Love Shark Tank.
and Kevin, you know, Mr. Wonderful on there, you know, he was like, I start every day with a nice glass of fine French champagne, and I'm like, see,
He's a billionaire.
he's a billionaire.
He's doing something right.
He gets it, and so ever since then, I feel fine about it.
Yeah.
But what,
I love
what
that.
so sent me about the whole experience that was so funny is Tony didn't even bat an eye.
No, didn't
Like,
even flinch.
No, like it's like the
He's not like, honey,
I'll post it.
noon.
I'll post a
He
video
knows me.
on this. I swear, I'll post a video on this. But there's a video of a girl like this guy's with the husband's with the baby, and she puts the camera up and she starts to pour grape juice in the glass.
I've
Do you
seen
see
this.
it? Pours grape juice in the glass. It's like a 9 a.m.er. Like, and she's like, oh, I've just had
And she
such a
starts
hard week.
chugging it.
Pours it, starts chugging, and the guy in the background's like, but no, Tony would never. Tony didn't. He was like, anyway, so in the spreadsheet, he did not even bat an eye. And I was like, this is goals. This is the goal of all marriages. If I'm going to get married, that's the kind of energy I need
Yes.
from my
I've
husband.
broken him.
Yeah. He's like,
learned.
anyway, so yeah, pour me. Yeah, okay, get your wine. Like, I'm like, this is
I love
crazy
it.
good.
We make a good
Yeah.
team. Like, you work on the spreadsheets.
I'm
drink
gonna have
some
wine, and it's fine. It's fine. Speaking
Yeah.
of your listing,
Yes.
that was the craziest listing I've had in a minute.
Okay.
I mean, we've sold
Since
probably
pre-COVID, or was it post-COVID?
we have sold. I don't even know now. Like, we'll have to go back and look at.
It was
Zillow.
post-COVID. Yeah.
Oh,
When the-
post-COVID, when the
Yes,
real estate
when
market was
it was
nuts.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
we
When everything was
nothing on-
over.
yes.
We had so many buyers
available
that
real
we were
estate.
in.
We were writing multiple offers
So
for
many
everything.
multiple
It was
offers.
crazy.
It was nuts.
But I think we've sold probably close. I was talking to Chad about today, like probably close to 400 houses now as a team.
Wow.
Like over the
impressive.
course of the Bodden Sisters as a whole, and I'm not kidding. It like re-energized me selling your house.
I love that.
It
really
was very
did.
special.
It
Very
made
exciting.
me so happy because
Aw,
like
I
you
love hearing that.
So our process with selling Laura's home, it's in Franklin. You guys are very Dave Ramsey. Like
Yes.
they run a very Dave Ramsey home. So their house is paid off in Franklin. What did you guys buy it for?
So we bought this house in Franklin. We were at Tony's condo in Brentwood Point
Yes,
prior
Brentwood
to
Point,
this
yeah.
house. And Tony bought his first piece of real estate when he was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So like he
I
had
could so
two
see
houses
that.
at one point when he was like 18 and 19.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would have never done that when I was that age. I
Yeah.
was, you know,
Yeah,
totally
Couldn't have even fathomed it, honestly.
We were on mom and
vacation.
dad's dime at Alabama at 18.
Till
We were
yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was having a great time. though,
feral.
okay,
Feral.
yes,
not buying real estate.
having a great time. But he was buying real estate, and then anyway, he ended up in this condo in Brentwood Point, and I lived there with him for a little bit, and then we started a family, and we bought this house in Franklin for $318,000.
Okay.
And that was in 2016.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys
Yeah.
bought the house in 2016 for $318,000. We sat down and decided we typically will always attempt this with our sellers, but a lot of them are so resistant because they're like,
Yeah.
what if it doesn't work? And so our process,
I don't want to leave money on the table.
yeah, they don't want to leave money on the table. And so our strategy is we will list a home about 5% under market value, under the market value that we can like assume it is. Now, we've been off on this before, but for the most part, evidence of comps and what the house looks like and everything can lay out. This is what the house is worth. So we'll list it about 5 to even 10% below that number. We put it coming soon for about 3 to 7 days, depending on what the time frame is for the seller. And we will put it on the market at that price point. And based on our experience, it works.
And it
We
did.
get
And it did, honey. It did.
the consumer, the buyer feels like they're getting a deal. So when they feel like they're getting a deal, they go, oh my gosh, we have to move on this. We got to write on this. And we ended up, how many offers did we get on your house?
Oh my gosh. I mean, 5 or 6?
I know.
I mean, it would have been more,
Actually,
but there was people that just
put
didn't even want to compete anymore. I mean,
yeah.
it would have been closer to 11 or 12.
We had 2 people literally message me and go, my buyer is not interested in working in a multiple offer situation. I was like, totally get it. Like, I have a lot of I wouldn't want to do it. I'm not going to do that.
It was already, that was the top of their budget already. Sure.
Yeah. We had 7 offers come in.
Wow.
Laura's like, I didn't know.
We had 7 offers.
Tony's spreadsheet would tell me that, though.
We had 7 offers come in. 2 of them actually, one buyer tried to bully us. They said, it's valid till tonight only.
Oh, yeah, they did.
And I was like, bro, you're not going to sit here and try to bully as if we don't know that we're about to get 100 offers on this house. But they did. They were like, this offer is good until tonight only.
Well, they didn't get the house.
And they did not get the house. But they did end up resubmitting. And I actually love the couple. They're so sweet.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting $70,000 doll hairs over what we listed it for.
Insanity. I cannot believe, I mean, we were shocked, just so you know, like on pins and needles all weekend. We left our house from Thursday to Sunday, and, you know, with your strategy, I mean, we were on board right away because it wasn't anything we had discussed. I mean, we were, I think the day before I was like, we need to list it for more.
Yeah.
Right. And you took everything that was important to us too, meaning we have 3 kids and we don't want to be, you know, scooting out of the house every 2 days for like, I have to like my kids' color on the wall. Like it's, you know, there's no way I can like do this every couple of days. Like get the cleaning people to come and like, and I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing, you know, marker off of every surface. So that was really important to us.
Yeah.
To make sure that we were getting the house sold for its top value during the time that we would be out of the house.
Sure.
And
so they gave me 3 days.
3 days.
We
yes,
listed
we had 3
it
days.
coming soon on a Thursday. We listed it active the following Thursday. Were showings. I kicked them out of the house. So you guys go to Tony's mom's or to the beach, wherever. Tony's like, we're going to my mom's. And they leave the house. And I'm not kidding. I think we had like 20 scheduled showings.
Oh, yeah.
The open house. These families had written offers on the house, y'all. And their agents sent them to the open house
Oh my
with
gosh.
with their children, with their babies, to introduce themselves to me. It was
An in-person meet the buyer.
It was pleading the case.
And let me
It was
tell you,
crazy.
like Bailey
it almost
was
worked
like,
too.
Bailey was like stone. I was like, who did you like better? She was like, I can't comment.
We
on
don't
that.
make decisions
we don't
based
make
on
decisions.
we
based
make
on
decisions
that.
based on what Tony and I love, which is where are we making the most money?
Yeah, so she
And
never
Laura's
gave
like,
me an
and-
answer.
and
I
of course
still don't
Laura-
know.
and the best circumstance because you guys are buying a new house.
Yes.
And it's new construction. It's not done yet. So you needed someone also to rent the house back to you after closing. So
Yes. Yeah, there was special circumstances around that. And I mean, honestly, your whole, like the whole strategy was just like we looked at each other, we were like, we hadn't thought of this before, but like I love it. And I think that we knew, like we had confidence in our home too, that like with the additions that we had done in the location, that that this was gonna work. So like we trusted you, and it worked.
I will say it is a great time to be a buyer in Nashville. And and again, there are some multiple offer situations when it's a deal, but I mean, we're working with 10, we're working with 10 buyers right now.
Wow.
And we're not dealing with a multiple offer situation in anything.
Yeah.
Not at all. So I was like, this strategy was so foolproof for any market. I don't care if it's a buyer market, seller market, I don't care. Like and whoever wants to argue this with me can, but if there's a price someone is willing to pay for anything. And when we listed your house and it was essentially $70,000 under what someone was willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
It was like, it further solidified the strategy that we use when listing property is that strategy 1000% works. Yeah. Like,
oh my gosh,
it doesn't matter what the market conditions are, it works.
Yeah.
It was insane. We were on pins and needles the whole weekend that we were gone.
I don't know why. Tony's calling me. He's like, what if this happens? What if this? I was like, Tony, honey, there's 15 showings today. What are you talking about?
I know.
He's like, well, I mean, I guess if we just get left with this offer at $650, this Tony, that's not going to happen, brother. Like, I love you.
He like looks at the worst case scenario and it's the
same.
same like quality that like makes him ultra prepared for any situation. But sometimes I'm like, chill, man. Like, we have so many offers on this house.
Very logical.
Like, can you believe that and then we ended up accepting an offer $70,000 over asking.
Yeah.
Like insane. It was more than what we,
it was
what
more
the
than I
strategy was supposed to produce.
Yeah.
It was
right?
more than I thought. I thought we were
Yeah.
going to land somewhere in like the 700s or whatever. And that girl came in at 720. I was like,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
I mean, we, we're closing in a few next week.
Literally
next week. And then, on the flip side of it, we got a new house too. So and Blair showed me that house.
Oh yes.
So,
well, we're doing furniture design. They're not really letting us do much to the actual house, but it doesn't need it. I thought the finishes were perfect.
Yeah, I think we'll see. We might have you come back after and we'll see, because I don't really even know what it's going to look like. I mean,
it's hard to tell off of like just a mood board. Yeah,
it is. And I mean, Blair, you showed me this house. Well, it wasn't even a house. I mean, it was just,
framing.
It was framing.
Yeah.
It just got thrown up, and it was like a construction zone. Like we were stepping over like cigarette packs and like beer cans. And
shout out to the builder.
No, they did a great job. Just kidding.
Just kidding. You're great. This will come out after anyway. It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, it's the truth. But like they have actually done, like, considering the amount of people that are working on these properties, like they've kept a really clean job site.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's only like 5 packs of cigarettes and not like 20. It's fine.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. But like we walked into like literally the framing had gone up like a week before.
Literally.
Yeah.
And Blair sent this in like a group text. She sent this, actually the home across the street, like that from the home that we actually went with. And I just looked at the location and I'm like, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
That's where I have wanted to be. Like, I know what I want. I knew that I wouldn't have to think about this for too long, because like I already just like, I know what I want. And so like when it comes time to make a decision, like I'm quick to make it. If it lines up with everything that I want, like I don't hesitate. And it worked out in this instant. And it was the only house that we saw.
That's crazy.
Well, the floor plan is just so perfect for you guys.
Yeah,
like with
it
the
is.
kids and your mother or Tony's parents,
it's my parents,
just,
the mother-in-law suite.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's perfect. Yeah.
It's perfect for us. There has been, like you said, Signature Homes is building it, and like they really don't allow for like a lot of custom design work on like the front end, like, but after closing, Blair's my girl.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about
I know, I'm so excited.
The pantry, the closets, and then interior design for the entire home, like furniture.
We got to get going on it.
I'm going to keep you busy, but I know you're getting married, so
I'm ready.
We're busy.
I literally said last night that this next week I'm focused on just interior clients.
Yeah.
Like I've got 3 of y'all that I got to get it going.
Own it in.
Yeah, I have. So I have, my mom's from France, and my mom has a twin sister.
I could so see that.
Did you not know that? So my mom is from France, and my dad is from Egypt. So
Really?
did you guys not know?
What part of Egypt?
My dad is from a town right outside of Cairo called Fakous.
Love Cairo.
I know you guys went a few years ago.
We've gone twice.
Have you gone twice now?
Yeah.
We've been 3 times. Oh, no, twice.
No, we've been twice.
We're going again. We're supposed to be going again this year, but we'll see. Zach's planning another trip. Yeah.
Well, if you guys go in a couple of years, count me in.
It's so fun.
Have
you been?
I have never been to
Oh
Egypt.
my gosh, you're going.
I have never been to Egypt. So my dad is from there. My dad came to the United States to come to Georgetown University to get his PhD.
How cool.
And
I did not know that.
yeah, and I mean he already spoke, 4 languages, and he spoke some English, and he had met my mom at a hostel in Italy, like along the way of his travels. And
how funny.
And then he invited my mom. So my mom's from France, and spoke no English when she came here at all. And he invited her to come to the United States and to be with him. And so she came here to Washington D.C. With her twin sister. And they both together, my mom and her twin spent several months here. And then my mom's twin eventually left, and my mom stayed here with my dad. And they never looked back. Yeah. And that was, nearly 40 years ago.
Wow.
And I watched my parents become citizens when I was 12 years old. And
wait, do you speak French?
Oui, je parle français.
Oh my god!
Shut up.
I want to teach us.
I totally will. I studied at a French immersion school for my entire life.
We're learning so many things about Laura today.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Yeah, I grew up in New Orleans, and the reason my parents left Washington D.C., they went to Boston afterwards, and then they eventually went to New Orleans because my mom was really homesick, and she thought that New Orleans, she had heard, again, this is like before.
She had heard.
New Orleans, this is before social media or like the internet, right? She's like, I heard that New Orleans has a French influence. Yeah. And like,
I'm dead.
They arrived there and I think they got like robbed on their
Of course.
Oh my God.
Immediately.
No. And it was hot. It was like 100 degrees. Oh. They were like, this is nothing like France. What were we thinking?
That's amazing.
And they were like, what did we do? Did we make a mistake? And they stuck it out there. I mean, they really grew to love it. My dad was at the University of New Orleans at that time, and like my mom was working at Gucci.
Why have we not met them? Where are they?
I know.
Well, my mom will be here tomorrow, actually, for Winnie's birthday. So
where do they live?
In Chicago.
They live in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
They live in
Why Chicago?
My dad had taken a job there.
Okay.
And actually, I moved to Tennessee because I was living in Chicago, and my parents were living in Franklin, and I went through a breakup. I moved here to, reconnect with them. And then like a couple months later, my dad took a job in Chicago, and like we completely switched spots.
He's like, see you, sister.
Yeah, completely swapped spots. But I mean, obviously, we're still really close, and they're actually their next ventures. They're gonna buy an apartment in France. So and just like
we're going.
Yes,
we're coming
I'm like,
to visit.
They were like, we're really like they thought I would be upset because
no,
they were
sweetie.
supposed to buy a house closer to like their grandkids, and I'm like, no, can I?
Like we're coming to France.
We have a house in France.
Relax.
Perfect.
Extra bedroom for me and my kids. We're coming.
Yeah, no. So I will definitely be there. Like all my cousins are still there. Like my whole family.
Where
is
in
there.
Paris?
Well, I have actually 2 of my cousins in Paris who I'm super close with, and they're amazing. They speak fluent English too, but like they're amazing, and we talk all the time. I love them. The rest of my family is on the west coast of France, so they're just like an hour west of Paris, in a town called Nantes.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well,
yeah,
we're going.
Yeah, let's
yeah.
go.
We need to plan a little trip.
a girls trip.
Girls trip.
I am
whatever.
all for it. Like
Okay.
I love going to France, and I'm so excited that we'll have a place there to take our kids to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So fun.
Okay.
Our last question, how do you stay hot?
Okay, so I can answer this with confidence because I think that like it's two factors to what it means to like feel hot and to stay hot. And obviously it's going to the gym and eating healthy and taking supplements. I take a live spore probiotic. A regular probiotic doesn't cut it, okay?
Okay.
A live spore probiotic is what you need to be taking. I take a colostrum supplement to protect your immunity and your gut health. I do matcha collagen. I take a moringa, which is like an herbal like plant supplement to detoxify your body. And then I'm taking also Nutrafol, which is like a hair supplement, but it's like filled with so many other good vitamins, fish oils, and like I feel like I don't like eat a ton of fish, so like that kind of supplements that. So obviously on the physical side, that's what I do, but like on the mental side, I feel like you know, it's listening to music in the car. Every time I get in the car, like I like jam out to like what makes me feel good.
I love
and,
that.
Like, gets me in the right headspace.
Love it.
And like dressing well every day, keeping my house clean, and like even if it's not for anybody, like living out how I want my life to be when no one's watching.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's super important because like it's really easy to like want to have this like you know, beautiful life and, you know, Instagram worthy life, but like it doesn't really matter if you're not really living your life that way.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, like my car is a disaster right now. You don't want to look in there. And so I'm like not perfect at it, but like I try to.
Yeah.
Like eat off the nice plates.
Yeah.
You know, like
same.
skip
Yeah,
the
yeah.
paper plates. Like, you know, do all the things that you say you want your life to look like.
Right.
Yeah.
In real life,
Romanticize
on
your
a,
life.
yes, on a
Romanticize.
daily basis,
Yeah.
and like that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what I'm doing.
I love it.
Yay. I'm gonna have to get you to write all those down.
Yeah,
all the supplements.
we'll list
I'm
all
doing half
recorded,
of them, but there
baby.
were a few there. I was like, what?
We'll
What
list
is
them
that?
in the
I'll
in
send
the
you my
comments on there.
supplements.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
This has been such a
we
good
love you.
chat.
It's so fun. I feel like I could just do this forever. We're
I
done
know,
already.
I know.
Yeah, we're done. But we are going to go to dinner and plan our trip to France.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
cheers to that, my
Here,
ladies.
oh, thanks, Blair. Okay,
you have
that's
a
it.
sip.
There you
Cheers.
go.
I like
love
chug
you
mine.
guys.
Cheers, baby. Love you.